Right then, welcome back to the channel, Player Ratings. Let's look at who did all right and who didn't. And there's a lot that didn't. This is probably one of the worst performances I've seen in a long time. But let's get into it then. So, San Lamen, in a game where Everton basically stopped attacking after the red card, Lamens had literally nothing to do. And that kind of makes it worse because he had one shot on target and it went in. So he finishes with 0 saves. Now, he had 25 touches, 14 out of 18 passes. He didn't really attempt many long balls. The ones that he did, just one of those was accurate. Didn't really help United pin Everton back. A couple of defensive actions, 1 clearance, 1 tackle, 1 high claim. Didn't do anything. Didn't have a lot to do, but didn't do anything. 4 out of 10. Then Euro, 4 out of 10. Now, his numbers look tidy. But 90 minutes, 94 touches, 73 out of 81 passes gives you a 90% pass accuracy. He had 2 key passes, 10 duels, 7-1, 5 defensive actions. They all look good on paper, but he looked nervous, he looked edgy, he looked unsure, he looked rattled all the way through the game. And so much of that passing was sideways. Not enough of it was line breaking. Not enough of it was carries to disrupt the shape that Everton was trying to sit into. He lost the ball 10 times in a game where there was no pressure on him. He never managed to get a grip of the tempo, and he was getting bullied physically when they put somebody on him. Like, he was rattled. 4 out of 10. Now, I mentioned this in 5 Things and in my review last night. Matty De Ligt, he gets an 8 out of 10. He's the only one that can walk off the pitch with any level of credit. He did everything that you would want from a central defender in that kind of match. He had 7 defensive actions, 4 clearances, a block, 2 interceptions. He won 5 out of 10 duels, 4 of 9 in the air. He was clearing up the rare Everton counters on the ball. He did try and force the issue. 91% pass accuracy, 59 out of 65 passes. He got a key pass, an accurate cross, and even a shot on target. He also created a big chance from the back. Everybody else let him down. Luke Shaw, 4 out of 10. Again, Luke Shaw, volume hides how poor he was. 107 touches, 86 out of 93 passes, 92% pass accuracy, 3 key passes, 6 defensive actions, 4 tackles won. Again, it all sounds good on paper, but how he used the ball, too slow. 4 crosses, non-accurate, lots of slow square passing, no incision, no stepping out from left side centre half. He only won 6 out of 14 duels, lost possession 11 times. Everton down to 10. Left side became an absolute wasteland for any sort of progression. And Shaw was just shuffling it around. There were occasional lofted, hopeful balls. Busy, but blunt. Match days are full on. I am out early, I am on the pitch, and I am moving constantly. I'm coaching, I'm shouting at the players, I'm encouraging the team, and before I know it, the whole day can have gone. That's when I get that moment when I realise I've not even eaten today. And that used to be where I'd slip up, grab a takeaway or whatever was quickest, and it never really did the job. So now I take a Huel ready to drink with me, and it's a complete meal in a bottle. It's got 25 grams of protein, it's high in fiber, 26 vitamins and minerals, so I know that I'm actually fueled and not just filled. Also, it's plant-based. It tastes good, and there is no messing around. No prep, no shaker, no cleanup. Just throw it in my bag, and I know that I am covered. And honestly, that has made a massive difference for me. Not on the quiet days, but the busy ones, the real days. So this video is sponsored by Huel, and if you want to try it out, go to uk.huel.com/StephenH10. That's StephenH10, and get £10 off your first order. That's uk.huel.com/StephenH10. and the code StephenH10. Mazraoui, 4 out of 10 again. In this system, wingbacks are your wingers. Mazraoui played cautiously, and that's probably why he was taken off at half-time when United needed to get a little bit more impetus into the game. In 45 minutes, he managed 36 touches, 27 out of 30 passes, 90%, but there was 0 threat, 0 key passes, 0 shots, 0 dribbles, 2 crosses, 0 of which were accurate. He did have 3 duels. He didn't win a single one of them. He got dribble past once. He looked for the safe option every time, which is why I like him as a wide centre half. I think he works there really well. He's a fullback or a wide centre half, not a wing back, especially when you're playing against Everton, who are probably going to park the bus a little bit. When the game state demands aggression and risk, Mazraoui as a wing back is not going to give you that. Bruno, 3.5. This was maybe what Amorim was talking about, where he said he didn't want to end up like last year. This was classic Bruno spam. It was Bruno trying to be Hollywood and trying to win the game all on his own, but there was no payoff. He led the team with touches with 115. He had 89 out of 97 passes, 92%. He got 2 key passes, 5 crosses, 9 long balls, 8 of which were accurate. But the quality of his decision-making was awful. 1 shot on target with a 3.4 XG, 3 off, 1 blocked, 1 big chance missed, in a match that you've got to get us over the line somehow. He lost the ball 13 times, which is quite low actually for Bruno Fernandes in a game where United have had 70% possession. But he didn't win a single duel. His set-piece delivery was non-existent. For a captain and the main creator of a team, it was selfish, it was rushed, it was Hollywood, and it was spam. And it wasn't good enough. 3.5 out of 10. Casemiro, 3.5 out of 10. It was a ghost of a performance. After an hour, he'd completed 41 out of 47 passes. He played 4 long balls with 2 accurate. His defensive output was literally 0. No tackles, no interceptions, no clearances. Everton had 10 men and were still looking to counter, and our holding midfielder was non-existent. He had 1 shot on target, which was 0.08. 1 single key pass. He won 3 of 7 duels, lost possession 7 times, subbed before the hour. He gave United 0 control of transition, 0 control or tempo on the ball, played with 0 conviction, was like a throwback to that leave the game before the game leaves you sort of vibe of Casemiro. Dorgu, 3.5 out of 10. When there's a game that's going to be a contest and a lot of back and forward and aggression and the opposition are going to ask questions, I can understand why Dorgu plays. Against 10 men who've already scored at home, who are just going to defend, Dorgu doesn't have the ability to break a team down. 19 out of 25 passes, 76%. Sloppy. Probably the sloppiest performance of the outfield players, which is all of the players really, because Lamens didn't really have anything to do. He did manage a key pass, and he did get on the end of a big chance, but he missed it. He just hasn't got a box of tricks to be able to deal with something. I think he needs to develop an Antonio Valencia style to him and just stand someone up, knock it with the outside of your foot and deliver early. Just get really good at doing that. 3 crosses he did, produced nothing. He lost the ball 11 times, which when he only completed 19 passes is pretty bad. Defensively he worked. He had 4 actions, 2 tackles. But going forward, he was just lacking quality. And I think that was the overall arcing thing of the game. Quality was non-existent. In a game like that, you need people who can handle the ball because you're going to have a lot of it. Mbuemo, 5 out of 10. Mbuemo was wasteful, and he didn't recognise that Xerxes and Mount and Ahmad were all coming to feet so he can go and be the one that stretches it. He completed 25 out of 34 passes. He had 60 touches of the ball. He only got 1 key pass. He had 7 crosses, but only 2 were accurate. He 3 dribbling attempts, 0 successful, 1 shot on target. He had a couple more efforts, but he didn't look like he was going to score, really. He lost the ball 23 times, which I'm not bothered about because you've got to try and take a bit of a risk. The work rate was there. 3 tackles, 4 duels won, but the execution wasn't there from him. And I want someone like him to be a bit more of a leader, a little bit more vocal. And if everybody else is going to feet, you go stretch it. Recognise. Ahmad. 5 out of 10. I think Ahmad, in the first half when he was played centrally, looked like our biggest threat. He was getting dribbles and he was involved heavily in duels and he looked like a threat for us. And he was probably our biggest threat on the night in terms of the data, but that says a hell of a lot. He had 84 touches, 42 out of 48 passes, 4 key passes, 5 dribbles with 4 successful. That was forcing Everton to react, and we lost that when he moved out onto the right-hand side, and we didn't really get anything from him once he went out there. He was heavily involved in the duels. He won 9 out of 15, but the decision-making in the final third, even from him, wasn't great. There was lots of poor choices around the box. Him and Mbuemo, once they shunted out to the right, and Everton had 9 inside the box, were never going to be able to do anything. It was lively, but it wasn't quality. Xerxes. It's a 3 out of 10. It's the kind of game where your number 9 has to take the game by the scruff of the neck. And Xerxes was just soft. For 90 minutes, he only had 35 touches. He had 15 out of 25 passes, which, you know, some of them were so bad. So bad. United were camped in Everton's half. He did get 2 key passes off and he did have a big chance, but he's got to finish. 2 shots on target, 1 off, 1 big chance missed. Against 9 men, with Sesko injured, make yourself a stake a claim to play more. He looked a half yard off everything that happened. Delo, 4. He completed 21 out of 21 passes, and he got a key pass. But it was so obvious what he was trying to do. I just don't think he offered us anything with that inverted crossing style at all. United are chasing a game, and you've got people coming on and making 100% passes. It was too safe. There's not enough risk. There's not enough underlapping. There wasn't enough movement, not just from him. This is the entire team. It just wasn't enough. Mount, he's a 4 as well. And another one, 19 out of 20 passes in 45 minutes. He got 1 key pass, hit 7 crosses. None of those crosses were accurate. How many times do we have to think about putting just... Basically, do you know what this was? Remember the David Moyes one where we had some ridiculous amount of crosses? Was it 80 crosses or something like that? Or have I just invented that? Against Fulham. It was that against the David Moyes team. Mainoo's a 4. Again, 19 out of 20 passes in 30-something minutes. Far too safe from everybody. No risk. And without risk, there's no reward. Not enough. Right. There's my player ratings. Let me know if you agree or disagree. Am I too harsh? Am I too lenient? Tell me in the comments. See you in a bit. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, 5-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.